अग्निर्ज्योति ज्योति अग्निः स्वाहा सूर्यो ज्योति ज्योति सूर्यः स्वाहा अग्निवर्चो ज्योति वर्चः स्वाहा सूर्यो वर्चो ज्योति वर्चः स्वाहा ज्योतिः सूर्यः सूर्यो ज्योति स्वाहा। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः नमः। गन्धाक्षतपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ततो नमस्कारं करोमि। पुरुषत्ता का आवाहन करेंगे। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
On everybody's behalf, I request and pray to Guru Satta, please shower your blessings on us, Gurudev. Please shower your blessings on us, Gurudev. Please shower your blessings on us, Gurudev.
My greetings to all the Sai devotees present here. Today's discourse is going to start with a story of Shree Swami. In Maharashtra, Shree Swami, who was a great saint, lived once. In his lifetime, visited many different villages, visited many different places, spread his knowledge and also shared his experiences and realizations. In one such Hanuman temple that was on top of a hill, he was giving a discourse. The subject of the discourse was realization. The subject of spiritual experience of soul was very dear to everyone. Everyone liked it very much. After the lecture, a lady expressed her desire to Swamiji that she also wanted to experience the same. The spiritual experience that you spoke about, can you give me that experience too? Ramdas Swami smiled and replied, "Yes, I definitely can help you. But I have one condition. The condition is that I haven't had kheer in many days. And I have a strongly craving to eat it. If you feed me kheer, I will make that happen for you." That sister thought to herself that this deal is very cheap. If just by feeding kheer, one can experience spiritual bliss and attain inner peace, then there is no cheaper deal than this. The lady went back home, and after 4 hours of hard work, she made kheer with lots of delicious nuts such as cashews, almonds, and pistachios. She brought the kheer to Swamiji with great devotion and offered it to him. The temple was located on top of a hill. And from the top of the hill, Swamiji saw her coming towards him. He went down a little, and there was a stream flowing nearby. He put his kamandalu into the stream and filled it with half of the muddy water. Then he sat down with his kamandalu. And as soon as the lady came near, he placed the kamandalu in front of her. You have made kheer for me, right? Here, take and put it in this kamandalu. The lady saw the kamandalu was absolutely dirty. It was filled with mud, it was filled with dirt, and even had a bad smell. The lady said, "Let me first wash the kamandalu. I will clean the kamandalu, and then I will pour in the kheer in it." Swamiji said, No, don't clean it. Just put it as it is." The lady tried to explain. This kamandalu is dirty. It has mud and it has dirt in it. If I put the kheer in it, the kheer will get spoiled. Therefore, before putting the kheer, it is extremely necessary to wash the kamandalu, clean the kamandalu, and make kamandalu pure. Swamiji said, No, put it in the dirty kamandalu. Since you have brought it for me, so do as I say. Put it in the kamandalu. Put it in this dirty kamandalu as it is. Lady said, I have made this kheer specially for you. I have brought this kheer to give it to you, but I worked hard for 4 hours to make this kheer. How can I put this kheer in your dirty kamandalu? Until you let me clean your kamandalu properly, I will not give you this kheer. Swamiji said that after working hard for 4 hours, even you do not want to put the kheer you made it in a dirty kamandalu. Similarly, after years of meditation, devotion and spiritual practice, having experienced the divine, having experienced God Himself, having experienced Almighty, how can I put that experience into your dirty kamandalu? Until you clean your dirty kamandalu, I will also not put my experience in your kamandalu. Today, let's reflect on this story for a moment. We also do the same thing in our lives. Throughout our lives, we carry a dirty kamandalu with us. We go to holy places and take a little bit of the divine energy into our dirty kamandalu. We go to a temple and take some good energy and put it into our dirty kamandalu. We sit in the presence of a guru, receive good vibrations, good energy and good power and put it into our kamandalu. We do not clean the kamandalu. If you continue to behave like this for your entire life, all that nectar will turn into poison in that dirty vessel. From now on, change this process a bit. Change it. Do not go to any holy place. Do not go to any guru. Do not go to any Swami. Do not go to any temple. Do not gather energy from anywhere. Do not gather it. Leave it for someone else. Leave it for those whose vessel is clean, whose vessel is pure. Leave that energy for them. First of all, clean your own kamandalu. By kamandalu, we mean conscience. First and foremost, you clean your conscience and make it pure as well. Before making the conscience pure, it is necessary to understand what conscience is. While the terms mind and conscience are often used interchangeably, mind is responsible for thoughts, responsible for thinking. It is responsible for perceptions and experiences. The mind generates thoughts and ideas which are processed by the conscience to create our perceptions and experiences. The mind reaches that place through thoughts, and upon reaching that place, the scene there begins to appear to you. Also, until we clean our conscience or kamandalu properly, till then, no matter how much nectar we collect from the world, no matter how much good energy we accumulate, it will all become impure in our dirty kamandalu. It is necessary for you to first clean your kamandalu, your conscience. Imagine for a moment, you are a bottle filled with dirty water. This entire bottle is filled with dirty water. You take this bottle of dirty water to a temple. And as you bow down slightly, a few drops of dirty water spill out. You surely do. Feel relieved. And you are at little ease when few drops of dirty water come out. It feels good. Then you go to another sacred place, bow down there too, and let a few drops of dirty water fall out. It feels good there too. Then you go to some guru, bow down in front of him, and let a few drops fall there too. My dear, just a few drops of water falling won't suffice. The bottle is still filled with water. We must completely empty the bottle, surrender it completely, turn it upside down completely, like this, upside down. And when you turn the bottle upside down, all the dirty water inside of you will come and spill out. And when the dirty water spills out, you won't have to call the pure, sacred energies, these energies, you won't have to ask them to come inside, no. It will come on its own. Just like how the air enters on its own, you don't have to call the air. As soon as your dirty bottle empties itself, automatically air shall enter. Similarly, on the day your conscience becomes completely pure, like an empty kamandalu, completely clean, God will manifest within you automatically. There is no need to search for God. There is no need to seek God. God is within you, absolutely within you. Only the need to purify the space is necessary. Like if you see a big huge stone, a sculptor would create the idol of Lord Krishna by looking at that stone. He prays to Krishna looking at it, and to him Krishna appears in that stone, but you see the stone. But what does the sculptor do afterwards? Apart from Krishna, all the useless stone that there is, he carves and removes all the useless stones aside. And from inside the idol of Shri Krishna appears. Did he blow on the stone and put the idol of Shri Krishna inside? No, he did not. The idol was hidden inside the stone. But apart from that idol, all the useless stones at the side that were there, the sculptor carved and removed them, and then the divine appearance of God happened from inside in the same way. A guru is also an artist. A guru is also a sculptor. The divine is within all of you. The Almighty is within all of you. But apart from God, whatever is impure, useless and wasteful that you have accumulated in your life, it will slowly become clean in 8 days. And after 8 days, the divine within oneself will occur. Now what does the stone have to do in this? The stone has to remain as a stone. What do you have to do? Absolutely nothing. Just sit like a stone. As there is no role of a stone, similarly, you also have no role. Whatever needs to be done, it's the sculptor's job. The divine is within you, it resides within you. You just have to manifest it. 2. Make him visible. It is necessary to manifest him. It is necessary to remove all the unnecessary and worthless things within oneself. The amount of attacks on our conscience today, the weakness today and vulnerability that we feel today has never been so intense before. There wasn't much difference between me and my father. My father also witnessed the era of ambassador and fiat, and I have also seen the era of ambassador and fiat. But today, there is a huge difference between me and my son. Cars from all over the world have now entered his life. I would like to say just one thing. That is, in the past 20 years, the entire world has changed. And there wasn't such a significant difference in the world before. Not this significant. There has been a significant one-sided development of intelligence in the last 20 years. And along with the development of intelligence, there has been development of tools and equipment. Now look at the mobile phones, TV, internet and cinema. Earlier people used to watch movies once in 2 months, but now you can watch movies every day while sitting at home on TV. If cinema was not enough, then they started TV serials. It means that there are many thieves in this whole big world who can steal your thoughts and your mind except for the true Guru Sadguru. Sai Darbar is the only place where your mind can go within and nowhere else in the world. So, where are we sitting today? What is the use of this? What should be done about all this? Let's think about this and contemplate a little on this. Now see, everything is pushing our conscience to move outside. Everything is providing us with external information, but nobody is providing us with inner knowledge. Nobody is teaching us that. You go to temples, so please contemplate. And please think. If you think a little, you will find the answers within yourself. Look, I will share with you what I am thinking. For example, when you enter a temple, isn't it? After that, you wait in long lines for 2 to 4 hours. And after waiting for 4 long hours, you only get a glimpse for a minute. A minute is also more that I said. You barely get to see the deity. A moment, just a moment you get to have the glimpse of the deity. After that, the priest pushes you and says, move, leave. Nobody speaks politely and says, come. You are hurriedly asked to move away. And even after a week, if someone asks you if you want to go for deity's darshan, you readily agree. Sometimes sit down peacefully and think. A place where you have to work hard for 4 hours just to get there. A place where nobody welcomes you but rather pushes you away with move and asking you to leave. Why do you want to repeatedly visit a place of such an idol? What do you gain by seeing that idol? Would you go to a place in life where people are constantly telling you to move and push and keep pushing you away? You are being pushed away and you still go there. Will you go? No, you won't go. Not anywhere in the world. It is only the temple and the idol because of which one desires to go repeatedly to that place. Sit peacefully for a moment and think, why does it feel like that? Why does it happen? What is in that idol that makes one want to go there again and again? The attainment of joy happens within a moment. Let me tell you what one gets at that place. According to some introspective gurus, their introspective powers flows into the idol and the idol is infused with a life force. It's as if the idol has got a life. And as soon as you go in front of it, even for a moment, understand my words, even for a moment, in that moment, you become introspective, reach towards the divine, and experience the joy within a moment. The idol is a medium to take you inside. Through that idol, you become introspective because introspective powers have been infused into that idol. You see that idol for a moment and become introspective. And because you become introspective, you feel good when you reach the inner divine. That is why you feel good. It is not that you feel good by going to the temple or by seeing the idol. They are all mediums. To become introspective. God is within you. God is inside you. But we cannot reach Him on our own. We need some medium to take us, some means to transport us, something to guide us there. Until that happens, it is not possible. Yes, it happens exactly like that in such samadhi places. You can visit the samadhi site of any guru. When you visit the samadhi place, for a moment, just for a moment, you get to visit that samadhi. Situation is same there too. You wait in line for 4 to 6 hours and then you have a momentary glimpse of that samadhi and you feel good even in that moment. The feeling of goodness and experience is the same in that place and this place too. The reason why it feels good is because the body that is placed there was connected with thousands of people during its lifetime and thousands of people connected with him. A feeling of togetherness, and this had a collective energy and internal power established within it. This is why you have a momentary glimpse of the same experience. When you visit such a samadhi, you become internal and reach your inner divine self, and that is why it feels good to you. This similar situation happens in front of a living guru. When you go to a living Sadguru, for a few moments, there is a similar attraction. Absolutely similar. When I was a child, I used to think about the stories of Prahlad and Dhruv, that there was a radiance on their faces and a sheen on their bodies, radiating. I thought that radiance meant they were glowing like how we glow on cheeks after taking a bath, but that's not the case. It is true that even if it appears ugly, there is still an attraction towards it. This attraction is because when we go into the presence of a living guru, we embark on an inner journey. We become introspective because that saint, the Sadguru, remains absorbed in his inner bliss whatsoever. As soon as we come into his presence, we also become introspective and become introspective. So whether it's a statue of a deity, or the tomb of any Sadguru, or the presence of a living guru, it's all a mirror. It's all a mirror. Just as we need a mirror to see our own face, we definitely need a mirror. If there is no mirror, we obviously cannot see our face. If there is no mirror, we can't see ourselves. If we want to see if we are black or we are yellow, we need a mirror to see ourselves. It is just like that. To see our inner God, our inner selves, we need definitely all these mirrors. All these mirrors help you to become introspective. That is why until an inner seeking guru comes into your life to teach, you will not become introspective. The seed of introspection will not sprout until someone waters it. And you may also wonder what my spiritual seed is. Which seed is it that made me introspective? Although I have always believed that nobody can be God, no one can be God. Why can't it be? Nobody is such that it remains the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I carried this belief with me that was one belief and another. My frame of mind, previously empty, did not recognize any God or divine power. I did not believe in any deity. And I was ready to accept God in any form, any religion, or any caste. I was ready to accept Him in any form. With this thirst, I moved forward. When a person is thirsty, he does not make any demands. If a person is dying of thirst and he's asking for water, and you give him water, and he won't ask, is it from a well? Is it from a bottle? Is it from a tap? Is it from a river? He will not ask any questions because his life is at stake, he is dying. If you offer water to a thirsty person, he will drink it immediately. That's how intense my thirst was. The day such a thirst arises in your life, that day a true Guru will arrive in your life. And the arrival of a true Guru is not that easy. And my mind was completely empty. I was ready to accept the true Guru in any form. I was in a state of complete madness. When I used to go to the Ramakrishna mission, I used to sit near the Guru's tomb and think, I wish I was alive during his lifetime. The Guru principle existed in the past. It exists today and will exist in the future. So, some Guru principle will be present in the present time too. Where will I find him? How will I reach him? These thoughts used to go through my mind. I was working as a marketing manager in Calcutta, but at the end of working day, I started sitting on the banks of the river. At night, the brothers from UP used to sing bhajans and I used to sit with them. I used to sit on the river bank and think that this water would eventually, somehow, someday flow into the ocean. But when will I reach my Guru? When will the true Guru enter my life? When will I go? When will I arrive? These were the thoughts that kept me thirsty. Just like in a fair, when a child gets lost and you give him an ice cream or a biscuit, he will only cry for his mother. Mom, 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 mom. He only wants his mom and he doesn't want anyone else but his mother. In my life, I had everything I could imagine as a young man. I had absolutely everything. But despite that, I was still unsatisfied with life. I had only one desire. Where will I find God? Where will I find the Almighty? And whenever I remembered God, whenever I desired to find God, just 3 images kept coming to my mind always. A temple of name Pashupatinath in Nepal. A tall, bearded, some saint was the second thought. And third was that of a Shiv temple on top of a hill. These 3 thoughts kept coming in my mind in my dreams again and again. I did not know what it really meant. I didn't understand. But once I had to go to Kanpur for some company work. And I stayed at a hotel in Kanpur named Kanchan. It was near the railway station. There was a bank strike, which meant that there was going to be no work in the bank and market. So for a few days, I had nothing to do. And suddenly, the thought of Pashupatinath temple came to my mind. I thought if I keep feeling the desire to go to Pashupatinath, let's go to Pashupatinath then and come. So I told the hotel staff that if anyone calls from the company, tell them I'm out and I'll be back. The room wasn't vacated, it was left as it is. I didn't inform anyone at home. I directly went to Gorakhpur from Kanpur and from there I went to a place called Bhairava. There I went. There is a check post called Sonali. I got off there and went to Bhairava. We got a bus from there at morning 6 am. That was scheduled to arrive in Kathmandu at 10 am. It was already 12, then 1, but there was still no sign of arrival. I asked the conductor about the delay as he had promised we would. He said we would arrive at 10 pm, not 10 am. There was this road called the Prithvi Road or Earth Road. Then there was so much dust that when one bus passed, it would kick up so much dust that another bus could not move a kilometer or so ahead of it. I arrived in Kathmandu and stayed at a hotel. The next morning, I went to visit Pashupatinath. As soon as I went to Pashupatinath, the priests there were waiting for me, looking out for me. I told them that I wanted to perform Rudra Abhishek. And they replied, "We know. And we knew you were coming. We did." I was taken aback and nervous because I hadn't told anyone about my Nepal plans, neither at home nor at office. So I asked him how he knew, because I hadn't informed anyone. Except for me, no one knew about my plan, that I'm going to Nepal. They said that an elderly Nepali gentleman has been waiting for you for the past 3 days. And he gave us information of your arrival. So I performed the Rudrabhishek, but my mind, my conscience was not focused on it. I was wondering who's this gentleman was and why he had come to meet me. I had never come here. I had not come to Nepal before. When I went outside, I saw that there was an elderly gentleman waiting for me. He said, "I have come from a village named Shibu. It is a distant village. And there is a mountain there. On top of that mountain, there is a cave. And in that cave, where a Baba sometimes appears. And when he appears, there is a festive atmosphere there. We call him Shiv Baba, but we don't know his real name. But when they appeared last time, they gave me this date and time and said that you will come, and that's why they have sent me to receive you." I felt even more mysterious. I had never been to Nepal, didn't know about Nepal, didn't recognize Nepal, and didn't know who was calling me and who knew me. I didn't know anything. After that, but these things are such that they seem like hypnosis. The mind just shuts down, and we start following like crazy. I also started following him. I traveled by bus and then walked for a long time. He made me walk a lot and took me very far away. Then there was a small village where there was a very small Shiv temple. He made me stop at the temple's doorstep and said, "Tomorrow morning we will go to this mountain." It was the mountain of the Himalayas, and he took me up high in the morning and brought me to a rock and made me sit over there. He said, "Just sit there and wait for some time. He will come to meet you here. Can you see that cave there? He lives in that cave." I was sitting there from morning till evening, and it was almost about to get dark. At that moment, I saw an old man. That man was slowly coming out of the cave. As soon as he came out of the cave, he was quite tall and long height. He was fair complexioned, had long white hair, was very tall, and slowly he started coming towards me with a smile. And as soon as he came closer, I paid my respects to him with all humbleness, because I recognized that this is the same saint who appears in my dreams. He comes to my conscience repeatedly. And he lifted me up and hugged me, saying, "I have been waiting for you here for 40 years. I was more than surprised. He took me inside his cave. The cave was very large from the inside. It was very vast. There was a trident, a fire pit, and a raised platform. He used to sit, sleep, and stay on that platform. But in the morning, he took some water and poured it over my head and placed his hand. After that, I don't remember what happened. I was in a state of meditation for 3 days. After 3 days when I got up, so he said, "You still have some worldly desires left to fulfill. After fulfilling them, you too will become a sadhu." Even though I had no relation whosoever with sadhus. He said, "I am from the city of Bhavnagar, And your area of work will be Gujarat. You will go to Gujarat and work. I had never been to Gujarat in my entire life and had never even heard of it. And for 40 years, my Guru has given me some virtues, some knowledge, some wisdom to give them to you. Today I am handing them over to you. I am about to give you all that I have. Now the purpose of my life is coming to an end. I am going into Samadhi. I am giving up my life. Suddenly the astonishing things were coming to light one by one. And the next day, he actually gave up his life. All the people from village performed his cremation ceremony, everything was done. This incident happened 40 years ago. And 40 years later, last year, my son went to that cave with 2 Nepali sadhus. After some struggle, and secondly, the villagers did not allow anyone to enter that cave. They said it is very sacred and very pure inside. And if anyone goes inside, a calamity will come upon our village. Last time around, few Chinese people visited, and after that there was an earthquake, so we don't allow anyone to enter. And that cave is almost closed and sealed. Water was not stopping, it was just dripping, and the mouth of the cave is about to close. But my son somehow reached there searching after a long time. Along with him were 2 Nepali sadhaks and 2 Indian sadhaks. A group of few people went there and returned after exploring. And then I returned to my day-to-day life. But my search was over. The special meaning of the incident was that my search for God had ended. He was not God. He was an ordinary human being with 2 hands and 2 feet just like me. It was visible. Despite knowing this, I accepted him as God. For this reason I accepted. God is a divine consciousness. God is not a person. God doesn't have a body. God is an universal consciousness. I received the universal consciousness through his medium. The medium which was used to reach me by the universal consciousness, the medium which was utilized and transformed, that medium became God for me. Knowing that God cannot have a body, for me, this very present was God. So God was there yesterday, God is there today, God will be there tomorrow as well. Only the forms of God keep changing from time to time. Keeps on changing. चित्रकूट के घाट पे लगी संतों की भीड़, तुलसीदास चंदन घिसे तिलक करे रघुवीर. It means that even when Lord Ram himself appeared, he was still applying tilak to him, not recognizing or realizing his true identity. Once in a college in Kolkata, which was a Christian college, they asked me to explain the concept of God to them. There I gave them an example of Narsimha Avatar. That in our scriptures, there is a description of Narsimha Avatar, which says that his half body is of a lion and other of a human. However, such a form had never appeared before that and would never come after that. What does this mean? The meaning of it is that God is dynamic, is adaptive. God changes over time and changes according to the times. He changes his form continuously. You must not hold on to one form, as that form will never ever come again. Never ever again. The next form could be different. And how will you recognize him? What changes will come? He will be different from the common man. And yet he will be present in the collectivity of millions. Equality will remain. There will be an attraction towards God, and we will experience inner peace in his presence. In his presence, we will become introspective. I experienced all of this in the presence of Shiv Baba, and I accepted him as the Supreme Soul. Imagine that you believe there is a river, and from that river, the water is being piped to your house. Shirdi is getting water from there. As the water flows out of the river, pipe's diameter is 20 feet. And as you go further to 10 feet, 5 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet, and finally 1 foot. If you listen closely, give an ear to that pipe, you can hear the sound of water flowing, that yes, it is flowing. And if you touch it, you will feel the coolness. However, the pipe cannot possibly quench your thirst. The 20-foot pipe is of no use to you. The 10-foot pipe is of no use to you. The 5-foot pipe is of no use to you. The 2-foot pipe is of no use to you. The 1-foot pipe is of no use to you. What is of your use? The one that brings water, the small tap, present in your house, a small tap, that small tap will quench your thirst. So what is the use of the 20 feet and 10 feet pipes for you? Your need is that of that small tap. You put your mouth on it and your thirst will be quenched. It will happen in the same way in the world with universal consciousness and welfare. But I met the Supreme Being of the world through a small tap, through a small body. I will have to focus on that body to unify it. And that is how I made all the spiritual progress, by focusing on it. My progress has been made by keeping the mind in the Guru's feet. So considering someone as a divine and making spiritual progress is possible for a living person. Let me share my experience as a basis for this. The Supreme Being and the Sadguru are one and the same. The present divine being is present in the form of a Sadguru. We should only recognize it and also its presence. And often, question arises, how will we recognize? How will we know? Actually, if you look closely, Shirdi is the gateway to salvation. How do I say this? If you pay close attention to it, then only. Once I was going to Canada, and at the Mumbai airport, some security personnel took me inside, made me sit in a cabin from where I had to directly board the plane, and there was nothing else. There was a police officer standing there observing from afar. He was a well-built police officer, and he slowly came to me, requesting me to please put my hand on his head as it was his wish. I told him that I have no problem in putting my hand on your head. There is no trouble. Just hope that you don't get in trouble, that's it. The question is whether you will be able to tolerate or not. He didn't budge. He said no. He grabbed both my legs and started pressing them continuously. He was a sturdy police officer, and I thought he would break my legs. I asked him to let go of my legs, but he said he won't release them until I put my hand on his head. I told him that my plane will leave, but he said it won't, Babaji. Until he signs, the plane won't leave. Then, as if I had any choice, I put my hand on the police officer's head. And as soon as I did that, he prostrated himself on the ground and started laughing and crying. And like a madman, he started laughing and crying and laughing. Then there was a journalist sitting next to us. She asked me if he was my disciple. I said that I had just seen him for the first time. So she asked him, why was he laughing like a madman and crying like a madman? He said, I am a devotee of Swami Samarth. Day before yesterday was Guru Purnima. I had gone to Akkalkot to participate in Guru Purnima. And that day, I had prayed with all my heart. Swamiji, everything I need is already within me, already through your grace. I don't have any desire to gain anything more. Just give me a direct experience of the soul. That's it. And as soon as this Swamiji put his hand on my head, I felt as if I met God. That's why I say, A guru who has attained samadhi is the one who shows the path to the living guru. Provided you have the desire for it. That is the path, that is the way. So Shiv Baba was a common man with 2 hands, 2 feet. And like me, he was also a human being. Just as how I am, he was also one. Despite being like that, and knowing that, I still considered him to be the supreme being, considered him to be the Almighty. Why? Because after meeting him, my search for the supreme being came to an end. The search, the quest, the wandering all stopped. My introversive journey began. Journey within began. I realized that the Almighty was within me. Almighty was inside me. And there was no need, absolutely no need, to search for Him outside. However, until a person who shows the path within comes into our lives, until a person who helps us, a medium, turns inwards, does not come into our lives, till then our inner journey cannot begin whatsoever. Secondly, I found God, I found the Supreme Being. On that day, I achieved the complete solution to life that day. I'm speaking the truth. It's the biggest solution for a human being. I've attained the Supreme Being, I've attained the Almighty. This is the complete solution. No desire is left after that. On that day itself, I achieved the complete solution. The solution in form of God. I found the Supreme Being. I found the Almighty. Now there is nothing left to attain in my life. All search, all wandering, all searching has ceased. And I have recognized Him as God. I have believed Him as Supreme Being. Secondly, no matter how good quality seeds are of a company you receive, no matter how many good type of seeds you receive, no matter you sow the best kind of seeds, but until it is taken care of, no matter how good the seed is, it will die. It could never grow big. It could never become a tree. It could never have its growth. So I not only received the seed in the form of Shiv Baba, but also received a gardener in the form of Guru Ma, who nurtured the seed and made it grow. Just imagine taking care of a good for nothing husband for years and giving him 500 rupees per month, and that money when the salary was only 1400 rupees. I made the decision to come on this path. Despite so many shocks or my struggles, my mother passed away. My mother couldn't bear the thought of one educated and well-employed son leaving and everything behind to become a Baba. But I didn't even realize when my Guru Ma took the place of my mother. They say that a momentary lover and a woman who becomes a mother is eternal. I experienced this firsthand in my life. So how much water to give to a plant? In which direction to allow it to grow? In which direction to not allow it to grow? These skilled tasks of a gardener, my Guru Ma did it. Always letting me grow, always in the right direction, never letting it grow here and there. And even if it grew in the wrong direction, she would cut it off. Just cut it off. Many times, such disputes happened, such fights happened, such problems came. My father didn't like this at all. He said, "You're an important, you live on your wife's income." Now for a man, what could be a bigger insult, tell me? So I said, forget everything, I will go back to work. Because my boss had told me that my doors are always open for you, they will always be open. So I said, I'm going back. My wife said, the day I have to ask your father for money to raise our children, that day you can go for work. Until I don't ask your father for money, you should not. Hence, the understanding that has been gained, the knowledge, has contributions from two individuals. One is Shiva as the seed and other Guruma as the gardener. And now regarding you. The credit for meeting you goes to Shree Shirdi Sai Baba. He has driven me crazy and I have had the experience. Everything was good there. My wife and children were there and my life was going on absolutely peacefully. Even though there was no bicycle in the house, there were cars with red light in front of my house to go anywhere, any moment. In that situation, I was so restless that don't even ask. I had to leave from there. I wanted to leave from there. Ramakrishna missions, Guruji used to ask me, where do you want to go? I don't know where to go. Who is calling? No one is calling. Then why are you going? I don't know. He asked me to tell something. I said, I don't know. I don't want to stay here anymore. I have to go from here. I just want to go. Then he asked a question. Is this an invitation of God? I said yes. Then he understood that he won't live here now. He pulled me out of there to send me back to the society. How did they bring me? What happened? I'll explain all those things tomorrow. It's a long story. Today we'll discuss a message of Sai Baba of Shirdi. To understand the message of we have to, in his lifetime, go way back into his past. So the day was 19th May 1917. That day, that morning, it was a truly historic one for Shirdi. The Battle of 1857 had ended, which Hindus and Muslims had fought together. After that battle, the British realized that if we don't divide these two communities, if we don't separate them, then they may become a huge headache in future. That is why the government made all the efforts to divide the Hindus and the Muslims. The matter of religion is a sensitive one. They wanted to pick this matter, to divide them, to break the unity and separate them. Such efforts were being made by the government. And during such times, amid such situations, the Sainath of Shirdi made efforts to unite all the Hindus and Muslims together, to bring them close, to remove their religious differences. Government worked against unity, he worked for unity. Whichever era a saint has been in, the conditions of the society, the requirements of that time, the needs of the society, he worked according to those needs of that time only. So his job was to unite both the communities, to remove their religious differences. That is why he gave a message: God is but one. God is one. He is the only one. So the 19th May was important for Shirdi because that day Lokmanya Tilak and Dadasaheb Khaparde came to pay a visit to Sai Baba. A lot of public was there because Lokmanya Tilak was very popular at that time. He was an important figure in the Indian politics of that time. Both of these were sitting together at Dwarka Mai. They had other people with them too. Sainath was sitting with a support of a pillow. He was very calm. There was too much public, but still the whole environment was extremely calm. And two little puppies were playing with each other outside the house. They were not ruled by any Englishmen. Also, so what, they are puppies? They are in Guru's companionship. They lived during Guru's times. They were around Guru. They were around Guru's aura. Even after such a crowd, there was no unrest. No one would speak anything. Mr. Dadasaheb Khaparde, who was such a big lawyer, even he could not utter a single word. Where to begin it from? How to request Sai Baba for something? Who will speak? Who will speak first? No one was able to start the conversation. Sooner one very, very young boy entered inside. While managing his pants, he ran and quickly sat in the lap of Sai Baba. Baba, give me sweets. Baba, give me sweets. So Sai Baba picked a sweet from the nearby plate and then put it in his mouth. He put his hand on his head. With a smile, the boy happily left the place running. A message of peace reached everyone, there and outside, that if you wish to reach Baba, then you have to turn into a kid. Be kind, be pure, puncture your conscience. To reach the Sai Baba, you have to become a child, a kid, a small one. Gathering some Courage Lokmanya Tilak started the conversation. Sai Baba, we have come here to pray to you. That the country gets its independence. Our country gets the due freedom. And we make all the efforts day and night in this direction only. Now please bless us that our efforts go successful. Lokmanya Tilak was saying something different and Baba was saying something else. Baba is saying that every person is very bad. You have done a lot for this world. You did a lot for the nation. Now do something for yourself. Something for your inner self. Observe what he asked and what Baba replied. You know what? Whatever the Guru says, his level is completely different. Whatever a student does, he cannot match that level. The Guru speaks from a different level and the student hears from another. There is no communication between them. But with the time, slowly, the student understands what the Guru speaks. Well, then Baba smiled. Fine. Do something for yourself, your inner self. That's all. After that, these two went to a corner and gave way to others. They also expressed their concerns. So Dada Saheb Khaparde said to Lokmanya Tilak that you did talk to him, so we will definitely get the freedom. Now that the country would be free, then what would you do? Which profession would you choose? Lokmanya Tilak said that I love teaching the children, so I will become a professional teacher. Baba smiled at this as well. He thought in his mind that that day would never come in his life. He knew it. He clearly did. He even signaled him by saying that do something for yourself. You did enough for the nation. And 3 years after this very incident, Lokmanya Tilak passed away. This is not a small incident. This is a great lesson for the politicians of today, a message that do not stay involved in politics till the end of your life. You did a lot for the nation. Enough with your politics. Act for yourself now, something for your inner self, something for yourself. On one side you are about to go to heaven, on other you stick to politics. Let go. You did a lot for the nation. Do something for yourself, for the inner self. Attaining the self-realization is a birthright of every living individual. And every person should receive that. Given that he wishes for it. The main thing required here is will, that's it. Well, until you wish for it, no progress will take place, not even a bit of progress. Today's chakra is Muladhar chakra. Muladhar chakra is known as Adhar chakra as well. When the Supreme Being created all of us, then to purify our mind, to make our mind holy, to purify our body, to make our body holy, He created earth. If we seek the companionship of the earth, but what happens nowadays, we walk wearing flip-flops inside our houses and shoes in the offices. So we do not get to connect with the earth at all. There are many diseases that came into existence due to our disconnection with the earth. And you know what? You go to one of your relatives and no matter how many diseases or what type of diseases they have, ask him to sit on the ground daily for an hour, all his problems will be dropped to half. What is the reason? The reason is that the earth has a gravitational force. That force pulls everything that you offer it, it balances everything, it stabilizes everything. When I go to foreign, then what do you think? That I talk about religions only? No. I speak about human beings. I talk about vibrations, about the auras, about energies. Once I was staying at the house of a Christian priest. So the priest was sitting on a sofa. I was also sitting there. I asked him to show his hand. Are you getting vibrations? He said, yes, Swamiji. I can feel the vibrations. Then I asked him to sit on the ground and check if he still could feel those. He sat on the ground. However, he was not habituated to sitting on the ground as he was foreigner, but somehow he managed to sit. After settling, he said, Swamiji, the vibrations have increased. So the vibrations increase if you sit on the ground. It means that the things that you can't understand through scriptures can be understood through experiences. The next day, Theosophical Society had a lecture. All the foreigners were sitting on the chair, suited and booted. This guy was sitting on the ground. He had understood that vibrations increase, energies increase. One sits on the ground. That is why I made you sit on the ground. Also, if you can sit on the ground for meditation, then you must do. How must people work under you? Which designation you are at? Leave all that aside for today. Sit on the ground. If you will sit on the ground, then you will find something that you never found in life so far. And if you won't sit on the ground today, then you will never do. You know that millions of people have sat on the ground. Even the foreigners have learned to sit on the ground. If you would sit on the ground, then gravitational force will pull your disease out of you. Look at the tribal people. They do not have any doctors, nor any hospital. But these tribal people believe in praying only. If they get a stomachache, they pray to the earth and the pain settles down. For diarrhea, they pray to the Mother Earth and the pain settles down. It is simply their emotions. They call the earth their mother. They can go to the mother's lap and complain about anything they want to. They can tell about their disease. They dedicate such an emotion and the earth cures their diseases. It is not possible to discuss it in such a huge number, but I do teach the Jain monks. Jain monks do not consume any medicines, they don't take them at all, they never do actually. That is why I teach them how can you pray to the Mother Earth and cure your diseases, how to cure your diarrhea, how to cure the fever. Just by praying to the Mother, gravity pulls out all negativity, gravitation force balances out, stabilizes your body, it balances out everything. Also, the people of the society think that only we have problems, only we have all the issues. And the hermits are living a life of great fun. Hermits are enjoying their life to the fullest and they have no problems at all. But this is false. This is a huge misconception. If you would observe closely at their lives, if you would look properly, then you would see their problems too. They also have their problems. But their problems are different from your kind of problems. So when I conduct the camps of saints and hermits, those are very small camps for 20 people or say 10 people. But yes, they go on for really long. For 6 to 8 hours, those camps continue. The seekers also feel jealous about it. They say, Swamiji, you sit for 8 to 10 hours for such small number of people. I tell them that these people walk for as long as 800 kilometers for me. I come here walking for as long as 800 kilometers for you. Isn't there a difference? So it's not like the saints and hermits don't have any problems. It's not like they have no issues. Whenever these people meet me in person, they ask me only one thing only, that Swamiji, the sensual thoughts don't go away. The sensual thoughts always keep disturbing. This is a common problem, a very common one. Renunciation is not just physical. There is no point in wearing a robe. If there is no internal change, there should be an inner change. Every time I gave them the same answer that meditate, 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 meditation will resolve it all. But very recently, a sage personally wrote a letter to me with great intensity. Actually, you know what happens? I will give the music the way you will sing. If your learning capacity is good, then I will speak good things only. But if your learning capacity is bad, then I won't speak. Because my push completely depends on your pull only. So the letter that he wrote was written with such intensity. He had explained his issue so strongly in that letter that automatically my mind's focus shifted to his problem of sensual thoughts. Why is the issue? What's the reason? I examined it again and again. So I answered the sage that you always keep making attempts to control your sensual desires and thoughts. And using your attempts as a tool, your mind sticks to the same for 24 hours that it has to avoid the sensual thoughts, always alert. First. Second, you eat very less food, so much less food that your body gets no energy at all to create any thoughts about sensual desires. You eat little food, very little food. Also, you do so much of hard work and so much that you spend all the energy you create on sensual desires. These sensual desires cannot be developed in a man who is hungry. But he saw that all this is happening due to his efforts, due to his attempts. It means you are forcing yourself unnaturally, that you are always ready for it, alert for it. But if you took rest anywhere for a week or so, ate some good sweets or some kind of tasty dish you really like, then your desires will turn active because it is sitting there hidden inside of you only. You have merely put a thin lid on it, kept in your control, kept in under your will, but it's still there. Also, are you thinking that some young sage or hermit must be thinking all this? No, this is asked by the old ones only. 70 or 80 years old, just imagine. I'm saying all this because through this sermon, I want to get it to them that what is the way out, what is the path to be followed here. You know what happens? You must have heard that an old man, when goes to urinate, he urinates while moving towards the bathroom. Actually, it gets released while he is on the way, as they don't have control on their body. It happens. In the old age, our muscles turn weak, and after that, we lose all the control. The exact same thing happens to everyone. Till the time they are young, these sages and hermits, they control their thoughts about sensual desires because their muscles remain strong at that time. And when they turn old, when they turn weak, their muscles turn weak. Then they lose their control too. Then I told them to change the behavior. I keep repeating, meditate, meditate. Meditation means what? The energy that is being lifted and moving towards the Muladhar chakra. If you turn the way of that very energy in the upwards motion, what would happen after that? The energy will travel upwards. When it goes upwards, when it keeps moving, then it creates a behavior that after getting uplifted, the energy will go upwards. After that, there is no need to control it. Then you need not control it. It will get controlled on its own, as it has practice to travel upwards only. It won't travel downwards. If it will go downwards, then sensual thoughts won't bother. There are two things that destroy the mind. One of them is sensual thoughts, and other is too much mind in the food. There is this place known as Sajjangarh in Maharashtra. The pilgrims who go there first beg in front of 5 houses and then go on their journey. So just imagine what will happen. When you will eat 5 different food collected from 5 different houses, the sense of taste will leave your tongue. There will be no taste. The husbands who throw tantrums must be sent on this pilgrimage. They will be improved. I don't like this dish or I won't eat that. People who always complain. So a lot of their mind's energies is getting spent over food. Rest gets spent in sensual desires. So if you start practicing, if you change your behavior, then your energy will be directed to move upwards only. And thoughts of sensual desires won't bother. So no chances of sensual desires. Often, we have noticed the downfall of several gurus in the society. I suggested and advised for the same. I conducted a camp of the MPs in 2013. In that camp, I had put a proposal before the MPs to start issuing licenses to the spiritual gurus. Does it happen or not? Suppose you want a driving license, so what do? You would go to the RTO, you give the trial, the officers would check your driving skills, and then you get the license of 5 years. And when the license gets expired, they take the trial again and you get the license. The same way, all of the spiritual gurus should be issued licenses. If someone says that I am a spiritual guru, then check the aura of his body. Check the vibrations of his body. See, science is not against the spirituality. Science is a supporter. Check the guru properly. Check his aura once. If his aura is good, then issue him a license of 5 years. Your aura is good, your aura is clean, fine then. You're a spiritual guru for 5 years. And if his aura is damaged, or if not positive, then you ask him to sit at home for a few years, to meditate for a year or two, improve your conditions. So this will benefit both the parties. Firstly, how will it help that guru? Before getting destroyed, that guru would come to know that his condition has gotten worse. Secondly, how will it help his followers? See, with the downfall of one guru, the emotions of millions do shatter. Both the guru and the followers are in loss. So isn't it better to issue licenses? Also, don't make it compulsory. Give to those who want it. One cannot act in the case of spirituality. Like if a man is not rich, even then he can act like a very rich man. If someone is not scholar, then he can read some stuff from here and there and can act as a scholar. See, one cannot act about the spiritual state. Discussions about the auras or about vibrations. When I used to discuss the same 15 years ago, then people would laugh at me. They'd say that Swamiji, there is nothing like aura, it's your imagination and that's it. But very recently, I conducted a camp of 5,000 doctors in Ahmedabad. In the camp, the doctors themselves checked their auras before coming to the camp. They also witnessed some noticeable changes, some changes in themselves. So you know what happens? Anyone can talk about the good and the nice things. The scholars can talk very well. Intellectuals can talk really well. But whether the person is actually good or not, whether his thoughts are good or not, this we can check from his aura. His aura tells us that. And there are no studies of aura in medical science. Medical science can research on this body which can be touched and checked properly. Such researches are available in medical science. There is no study available of thoughts in medical science. Therefore, science is a bit incomplete yet. Foreign countries do a lot of research in this. Amongst Indians, we have a culture where if 11 people bow to a saint, then the 12th will do it. This doesn't happen there. Those people will stand with straight spines. Unless and until they would see his aura and see his other qualities, they would not bow to him. Not even a bit. Even the pictures of my aura were released twice earlier. But those also showed some kind of changes and some alterations. Just A year ago, I attended a lecture in the Theosophical Society. There they said, Swamiji, you said that a 5-year license should be issued, check their aura every year, check their vibrations, but even your aura images are 15 years old, 10 years old. Show us the present state of your aura. How is your aura now? Get the latest images, please. I said, okay. They said, if we find your vibrations, your body's aura is good, then we will learn meditation. We will learn it. I thought and realized that if my aura's images can make them meditate, then what's wrong in that? So I agreed to do this. I agreed to go with them to London. I went to London for at least 20 times, but I never sat in the tube. That day I travelled in tube. Tube is London's local train. We were so amazed that we began the journey on train station. And when we got off at London, we saw 9 more stations above us. That means we got off at the lowest station of all. So while crossing each and every station, when we crossed 9 stations and reached the city of London, we saw that there were banks all around that place. There was the doctor's clinic. It had a room, and in that room, I got photographed for my body's aura. The way people do the CT scan. Like that, I was made to sit on a machine. When with my hands on it, that machine kept working steadily for about half an hour. The scanning kept going. And after half an hour, the doctor questioned me, how are you breathing? How are you alive? I asked him, why do you ask me that? He said, see, I'm asking it because this aura signifies that a person has completely lost consciousness. That person has this aura. Only that person has these vibrations. I said, this is my meditative state. I don't stay like this for 24 hours. I stay normal for 24 hours, but this is my meditative state. So I stay in this state forever. See how things benefit us in many ways. These reports would be very informative. These are some 15-16 pages long. Such a good report of such a good aura has never been prepared anywhere. So after all that, I went to Sri Lanka. So I left for Lanka as per schedule. When I reached there, I saw that the Buddhist saints of the temple, they personally came out just to receive me. How good your aura is. How positive vibes you have. Your aura is exactly like Gautam Buddha's. A great aura. So see how things benefit us in many ways. The aura report that we got in England benefited me in Sri Lanka. There is more about Sri Lanka. So I had a very long conversation with the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Very long discussion. I told him that not just you, but every country's head, Prime Minister of every country, the President of every country wants his country to get rid of caste discrimination, to get rid of linguistic discrimination, to get rid of religious discrimination, and to spread peace everywhere so that the country keeps progressing. Every head of the state wants this, but you do not have any path to follow here. You do not have any way. But my Guru certainly knows a way. Sanskar of Samarpan Dhyan is such an ordination that awakens humanity from the inside of humans, and then the differences of caste, religion, country, race all get removed. Look here only, 400 foreigners have come to attend this camp. They do not understand a word of Hindi language. Now think that the boundaries of countries they crossed, the boundaries of language they crossed, the boundaries of religion they crossed, the boundaries of race they crossed. How many boundaries did they cross to reach here? People came from 22 countries. Why have they come here? Just to hear me? No. They have come to experience this. Their whole conscience, their whole attention stays on the vibrations only. Like we are discussing something in Hindi, then later I will explain it to them that I am talking about this topic. They say it's good that we don't understand your language. So our mind doesn't stay focused at your talks. The sentience that is flowing from your face, our mind stays focused on that flow only. See what happens actually. First I speak, then I turn silent for a while. Then I repeat the same. See, the words do operate only at the physical levels of the bodies. So if I speak A at lower levels, and then move at a bit higher level, then I speak B at the lower level. So neither they hear the letter A nor the B, but that gap in between. The height of sentience in the middle, the interval of sentience in the middle, from interval to interval, they keep jumping there only. They keep jumping there. Their whole conscience stays from vibration to vibration, from vibration to vibration only. They don't listen to words. They don't hear the language. Which language am I speaking? What are we telling them? They don't have anything to do with that. So I told the Prime Minister that we have a way, we know a path that awakens the humanity in us. At the Guru Purnima, 10,000 people came here from different countries, from different races, people of different languages in a common shared tent. They spent 3 to 4 days. No one asked anyone about their caste, about their religion, about the country. So he said that Jaffna is a disturbed area here. Please go and teach some meditation there. So I went to Jaffna to conduct a camp. So the young guys of Sri Lanka who were about 25 to 30 years old, they had never visited Jaffna in their lives because no one would dare to go to Jaffna. But we went there and conducted a camp peacefully. Very nice it is to date going on there. I want to say that one cannot just act to be spiritual. Spirituality can certainly be checked. Spirituality can also be tested. There is a saying that slow, not faster, know your master. So what do I mean by that? Knowing energies, knowing vibrations, knowing the state, knowing the spiritual state. And if you can't understand the aura, if you don't understand the vibrations, then the easiest way is to go before the doors of Baba and bow your heads and then do pray to. Provide me with the self-realization, provide me with the self-peace. That door will surely open in your life automatically. Therefore, I am saying that Shirdi is the way to salvation. But it all depends on what you ask for when you visit there. If you ask for materialistic things, then you will get that. You will get whatever you ask for. You will ask for a chocolate, then you will get it. You want a whole box, then you will get that too. Then stay at your house enjoying chocolates. So the Muladhar chakra is related to the conscience. If your conscience is strong, then your Muladhar chakra is strong too. So try inspecting yourself. Whatever things I teach you here, you should try applying all those on yourself only. So while looking at something, after looking at anything beautiful, think about God for that beauty's existence. Like how beautiful a woman is, made by God. If you get such thoughts, then it is not a problem. But if you look at a beautiful woman and you feel lustful, then understand that your Muladhar chakra is trapped. I mean that even a thief can be woken up, a thief can get the sense of self-realization, but you cannot because your foundation stone is damaged. Also, Kundalini power is a feminine power. So after insulting a feminine power, you can never attract another feminine power at all. You will be surprised to know that there are no women on the Himalayas. I wandered for years. I have travelled every corner of that place. There was no woman to be found. What's the reason? It is that all the people who have gone there were once the people of this society. And the society has a thought that in spiritual sphere, women are hurdles. Women are hurdles in spiritual progress. The people have taken such thoughts there with them. The way farmers have their compounds like, this is my compound till here, from there your compound starts. Same way, those people have created their own aura spaces. They have created their aura boundaries. Like in my area, no woman should enter. Means that no one should enter without my wish in my area. There is no compound there. You will not be able to see anything there, but you cannot try to enter their space unless they allow you to enter there. Shirdi is also a space only. Without the permission of Baba, no one can try to enter Shirdi. If you have arrived here, then it is because of his wish only, due to his blessings. So when all the people here, sitting there with such thoughts, then how come a woman would reach there? This is why there are no women over there. You know what? There is a stage actually. A stage of meditation. So if a person reaches that stage, then the differences between a man and a woman just vanish. Similarly, my Guru, when he reached that stage, then all the differences within him also vanished. But the difference ended only when he got tied inside his aura only. He made that aura so strong, he had made that aura so tough that even he could not step out of that space. So he said that I cannot get out of this space now. But the mistake that I committed in my life should not be repeated by you in yours. I developed the idea of discrimination, but you should not. Therefore, in the Samarpan Dhyana Sanskar, in the entire organization, you will find the dominance of the woman all around you. The women have equal stature. You will not find a center without a woman. And women have a great contribution in the promotion of Samarpan Sanskar. In fact, Guruma is the one who started it. The first realization was experienced by Guruma. Guruma was told that you have become habituated to staying alone and managing the house. If you give me the permission, then today I want to go out and spread this realization to everyone in the world. The women have given huge contribution in this field. Huge it is. Also, you will feel different types of realization, different types of experiences. Keep your mind introversive only. Keep your mind at the inner realizations. Focus at what is happening inside. Because I am just a medium. Through the medium of camp, you are getting connected to the powers of the Guru. When you go to some wedding function, don't you see a waiter who keeps serving several types of dishes? But has he cooked all those dishes by himself? Of course not. A cook is different. He stays inside the kitchen only. He is cooking it and passing it on. This waiter is simply serving. So we can see the waiter only. The cook is not visible. The very same way, the Gurus of Himalayas are just the cooks. They are supplying everything from there. I am just a waiter who is serving it every day. I will serve something or the other before you every day. So do not thank this waiter, but do thank that cook who cooked such a delicious food for all of you. Some new dishes every day. Every day a new realization, also new experiences can be expected. Well, very recently, we conducted an international saint camp in the Dandi ashram. People came from different countries, some from the Europe, some from Arab countries, some from Nepal, some from Sri Lanka, also people of different religions, Buddhists, Christians, Hindu, Muslims, everyone came there. All those saints were surprised about one particular fact of that ashram. They said that Swamiji, we find only old people in all our ashrams, but in your ashram we find youngsters everywhere. Why so? All the boys are young. They are handling everything. Manager young, peon is young, driver young, all are young. They were surprised. How did this happen? I told them, I am uneducated, that's why. They said, what do you mean? I told them that I never read any religious books. I don't talk about any religious books. I talk about the usual everyday life. I talk about day-to-day life. I share my experiences and my realizations. And the practical of experiences are very much liked by these youngsters of today. The youth of today want someone who is practical and also engaging. They would rather believe the person who believes in practicality. They believe in personal experience, in their own realizations. That's the reason why Samarpan Dhyan Sanskar has millions of young followers are associated. Due to everyday realizations, daily experiences. Muladhar chakra is related with the conscience. How much strong your conscience is, how tougher you make it. Everything depends on that. Also, we read in the books about this Trikal Gyani Siddhi. He was an established yogi with supreme knowledge. We thought that it's some enlightenment. But my experiences are different. Trikal Gyan is not an enlightenment, but it's a state of mind. While performing meditation regularly, you will reach that state of mind eventually, that your mind would take you to the past of time or the future or the present, wherever you want, in merely a moment, it can. Now that state is known as the Trikal Gyani Dasha. In the state of mind, not an enlightenment. So last year, I visited an ashram in UK. Dr. Vinita came from Germany in that ashram. At that time, America was conducting elections. She asked me that, Swamiji, America is conducting elections, so who will win? I said, Trump will win. She said, I do not like that Trump at all. His propaganda is not good. I said, I don't understand all that. But the answer to the question that you asked me is that though that I don't understand politics, now you should wait and watch. I gave my answer. And after some time, the same happened. After that, one of the ministers of Germany's parliament got very impressed by me as I made correct prediction. He said, tell about us now. In Germany, we want a government with no coalition. I said that the thought is good, but it won't happen. He said, Swamiji, your answer made me feel very depressed. I was expecting that we'll get a non-coalition government. I said no, it will be exactly like the present government, even in the future it will be the same. So the same happened later on there. They had a coalition government then and they have it even now. And after that, one international camp was conducted at the Saurashtra ashram. B.M. Patel, Jignaben and I were strolling on a mountainside. So B.M. Patel asked, Swamiji, which party is going to win in Gujarat, BJP or Congress? I said BJP. He said, but Congress looks strong here. I told him, I do not understand the politics, but the answer to your question is this, that you just wait for the results, and the BJP won. After that, around midnight, Dr. Vinita was leaving from the international airport of Mumbai to go to Germany. And the news was that Germany was receiving an intense snowfall. So her mother asked me whether they should let her go or not. I told them to let her go, allow her, as there is no snowfall where she is going. The snowfall is occurring in Munich. Then she took the same flight with no troubles. There was no snowfall where she went to. It was in Munich. The next day, I asked, where is Munich? So everyone started laughing, saying, you don't know where Munich is, but you predicted about snowfall correctly. Try understanding this very topic. It does not require too much knowledge. Conscience reaches places in a moment, observes everything, and then comes back to us. In the case of snowfall, it will know the exact location of the same. Okay, suppose that there is a huge room and there is a key somewhere in it. If you ask us to find the key, then we'll take a torch and start looking for it everywhere in the room to find it. So this will waste our time and the battery of torch. But if someone tells us that the key is underneath the table, so we'll go to the room and then straight towards the table and we'll get the key. The conscience has no knowledge. The conscience does not know how to move. We have to make it do so. And we need a medium for the same. Such an incident happened with a doctor at the time of a delivery. The doctor who had to deliver and that pregnant woman there, both were our followers. So attempts were being made since the morning, efforts were being made. But nothing helped at all, and the aim was to deliver the baby normally. I convinced that doctor for the normal way of delivery too, that you have to do a normal delivery and it will happen. Also, you know what happened was, 6 doctors were there at that time who were observing the conditions and the situations closely and said that normal delivery was not possible at all. Also that day, by God's will, my father-in-law was at my house. He's a doctor. He also said that normal delivery cannot be executed in these conditions. Even under such crucial conditions, I told the doctor eventually that I have no knowledge of a female body, no information at all, no knowledge at all. You just explain to me what conditions are needed for a normal delivery and I will bring those conditions to you. So she explained such conditions are required and only under such conditions it is possible. I said alright, in 10 minutes. Right after 10 minutes the conditions were there and a normal delivery was done. Nowadays we have got everything in life, just everything. There is nothing left to be achieved. And even the task that I had, it got completed too. The task that the Guru gave to me, even that is completed now. So, now what to do? What to do with the time that is left in the life? So now I will do something that just makes me feel happy. So there are 2 things. One is that I tell the path to the Gurus. I show the path to the Gurus. I make the Gurus experience the impression. I think that I have already dedicated my whole life to the spirituality. So at least they should find the path to salvation. Therefore, I conduct the camps. Second, I help in deliveries. I help in deliveries means that we try our best, we make our best efforts to get a normal delivery done. This whole network works through one of the female seekers. She keeps updating me like someone got admitted, doctors are saying that operation is required, then I say give me just 30 minutes. If we fail to get a normal delivery after 30 minutes, then you may operate her. But we get the normal delivery done within 30 minutes. Then after such deliveries, when they send me the baby's photo, then I feel like I gave birth to that baby. Then I just think that how pure this soul is, who is receiving the blessings of the Guru at their birth. That is why I do the things that make me feel deeply content. I do the work that makes me feel happy inside. The seekers feel like, why do you keep sitting for 8 hours or 10 hours with these saints? But I like it. I really do. The people who know me for 25 years or so, now they sound surprised. They say, Swamiji, how did this spread all over the world, that too in just about 2 decades? How is that possible? Tell us. And without any fee it got promoted so well. Not just here, it is free in the whole world. Free of charge is not a concept anywhere in the world. The people feel shocked. I tell them that you take a leap and leave the rest to me. No trouble like money or anything ever bothered us. This work is not even mine. The God will arrange everything for His work, and I have complete faith in the God that it is the work of God, so the God will get this work done naturally. He is going to arrange everything. I don't get worried about that. Why do you? And even the seekers have developed this self-confidence that no work gets stopped due to money. Where it comes from, where it goes, no clues, but it happens. So they feel very surprised that how did it happen in 20 years or so? How is it possible? How can a common man who once lived in a cave do such a great work in the society in the world? I said, if a common pawn is reaching such great heights in the world, then there is someone behind him. I did 2 things. One is that I always committed good deeds, just humanly deeds, and did so without any motives, without any expectations. By no expectations, I mean that leave the money or fees aside. I will teach you for 8 days, and after 8 days, on the 9th day, I won't even call you to ask that I taught you for 8 days, so do you still meditate or not? I don't expect even this much. I work without any expectations, and the soul should always remain happy. I worked so that my soul feels happy. So I ask you to look for such a work that has no pretense in it. Not to impress anyone. And do that work only because it makes your soul happy. Your soul feels content. You just feel good. If you do this, then it will strengthen your soul. It will become really strong. The stronger your soul will be, the more capable it will be. Then other things are just byproduct. You will achieve anything then. There is no need to stress then. Muladhar chakra is a foundation stone. The whole building stands upon that only. So how strong your conscience is and how tough your conscience is, everything depends on it only. Purity is the most important factor for that. The most essential feature of Muladhar chakra is purity, sanctity. Like I speak these words, I am a holy soul, I am a pure soul. Don't just say it. Like if you're saying, I'm a pure soul, then feel it too. That I'm a holy soul. I took multiple births in different castes, in different religions, in different languages, in different races, and also in different countries, but still the purity of my soul is intact. Purity is just another name of the soul. Feel that. Also, when you say that, I'm a pure soul, at that time, forget everything. Which religion you belong to, which country you come from, which caste you belong to, which race you are, even the gender you belong to, you should forget that as well here. Forget that. Just remember one thing, that you are one pure soul. Also, all the problems that you have in your life, listen to my words very carefully. All the problems of your life, the root cause of those problems is your physical self. The less concern you show towards it, the lesser would be your problems. The body is the root cause of your issues. The lesser your concern will be, all your problems and the issues will slowly decrease. And I have already told you the part 2, detachment, that you have to increase the attachment with your soul on a regular basis. So when you will get attached more to your soul, body's attachment will decrease slowly on its own. Also, if you have a problem, then the problem is in you. Let me tell you a story of two farmers now. The story will clarify everything. There were two farmers named Ramu and Shamu. None of these had their own land to do farming on, not at all. They would do the labor work on the farms of others. One day, the king of that country went out on hunting and he lost his way. He wandered for 3 days with no food and water. And later on, he reached at the village of Ramu and Shamu. So they gave him a warm and nice welcome. They gave him the food that they brought for themselves. The king was very impressed. He was very happy. He asked them to make a wish after that. They said, No, sir, we just acted humanly, we do not want anything. But the king insisted on the same and asked again. So Shamu said that I do not have a farming land, so kindly give me 8 acres of a land. So the king granted and gave him that much land. Then he asked Ramu too if he wanted a land, as he didn't have it either. Ramu said that no, I do not want anything. But the king said, I insist. Ramu, I would really be happy, He said, okay, if you insist, then I want you to come to my house every Dashera to have lunch with me. So the king was really surprised. He said, how come this is going to benefit you in any way, Ramu? So Ramu said that it's not about my benefit, it's just that I felt you should come to my house for lunch. You wanted me to make a wish, now it is up to you, my king. The king agreed and said, I'll come. So later on, this topic came up before the ministers, that the king would be going for having lunch at Ramu's house on Dashera, and it is just a hut. So Ramu's hut got converted into a beautiful mini palace. And later when the villagers heard about the reason why Ramu's house was getting a makeover and the king's arrival, then the whole village got a makeover. And every year, it became a ritual only that every Dashera, the king would go to his house for lunch. All the villages that were in between the palace and Ramu's house, all those villages got developed swiftly. Good roads were constructed, other facilities got provided, the water facility got provided. So, due to that king's companionship, Ramu developed his own self and also all the villages nearby. And Shamu's condition was that he had gotten the land but not the water supply. There was no water. So in the same exact way, whenever in your life, I'm telling you the bottom line of the story. Whenever in your life you get the companionship of a guru, then remember, do not use that to solve your immediate issues or tiny problems. Why? Because the problem lies inside you, it's internal. If you will solve one problem, then you will create another one. He solved the issue of the land, so the issue of water arose before him. Ask for the Guru's companionship, and there will be no issues in your life at all. I tell people several times, think about a cowherd. We see this a lot. A cowherd tries to pull his cow towards him really hard. The cow has a rope around the neck. He keeps pulling it with great force and still the cow doesn't move even a bit, not even an inch. He hits her, does every possible thing, but the cow refuses. Then the cowherd gets annoyed. Then what does he do next? He throws the rope away and picks her calf in arms and starts walking, and the cow follows him ultimately. You need not follow me. Just pick up the Guru's work and I will follow you. Guru's work is bigger than the Guru himself. You must have received Guru's companionship for so long. I got it for 3 to 4 days only. But even that companionship of short period is enough for me, because I keep doing the work of the Guru, so I feel like I am in his companionship only. Guru is with me only, he is besides me. His existence is not physical, it's in his work. The amount of Guru's work we do decides our nearness with our Guru's companionship. And to clean the state of conscience, always meditate in a group. See, a bicycle always has 2 tires. The same way, meditation has 2 tires. One is regular meditation and the other is collective meditation. Meditate in morning for your own self. All you need to do is to sit alone on a mat in a garden, and there should be no one near the area of about 10 to 15 feet. Lock yourself in some room and meditate in that room. So what will happen next? Slowly, steadily, and then ultimately your aura will start to get developed. It will grow day by day, day by day. 2 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet. And secondly, do meditate collectively. Go to the centers and meditate. Why to meditate at the centers? You will learn how to take control of your conscience. See, it happens a lot that some people meditate alone, and while doing it regularly, they make it really strong. They make it really very tough. They make their conscience strengthened really well, but they can't control it. And after 6 months, their condition gets worsened. Why? Because there is no control. See, by doing regular meditation in order to strengthen your conscience. All by yourself is like learning to drive a fast moving car. And going to the centers for meditation is like keeping the car under control. So if you travel at the speed of 20, then the accident will be small. But if the accident happens at the speed of 100, that will be a huge one. Either you will kill or get killed. In the same way, you strengthen your conscience, but do not want to leave your habits at all. Habits like to find faults in others every time, to put the conscience here or put it there. So until your conscience wasn't strong enough, you did not have any problem. But the moment it got strong, it will start receiving. You will find fault in other people. You would receive their faults. And after doing so, you will turn into a big dustbin, as you collected their garbage. So first of all, you need to clean your inner kamandalu. First of all, clean your kamandalu, that is your conscience only. Purify your body's kamandalu. And unless the kamandalu gets cleaned, the kamandalu gets purified, it gets sanctified. Do not waste your energies in order to gather nectar in it. Please save your body's energy. The day your kamandalu gets properly cleansed, it gets purified, that day the God will appear in your own self only. There is no need to look out for the God, to wander around, to search the God in the world outside of you. If there is a need, then it is just to purify something called the conscience. Simply search within you to find your conscience. You will find your conscience where you had kept it. Also, yoga classes are conducted here in the morning. Mr. Atul takes the class. Come there. That will surely help you in meditation. When he will direct you, like keep your hand this way, keep your leg that way, keep the hand here, keep the leg there. Why to do so? It will help you to get a control over your body. Keep your hand like this, it will be that way. Leg like this, it will remain that way. Also, gradually, your body will adapt the sensitivity. For meditation, it is very important to control your body. The one who has no body control, how is he going to meditate then? Try being stable at one position. But Yogasana is not everything. It is not everything. We celebrate 21st June as the Yoga Day. Also, you see, Yogasana means Yoga Day. Yoga means Yogasana. That is that. That's our knowledge. But thought of the Yoga Day is an Indian one. Therefore, to present yoga in a collective way before the world is the responsibility of Indians only. Yoga is not just the postures. It is our job to tell this too. We have to explain this. Few years ago, I went to Australia. So over there, 5 female yoga teachers came to meet me. They introduced themselves as yoga teachers only. So I assumed that these females must have strong conscience, so would be the meditation. But what I saw was that their conscience was very weak, extremely weak. However, all of them were physically fit, like some dolls. They were looking like dolls who came straight out of a factory, one by one, perfectly casted out of some molds. They had great physique. They had maintained themselves very well. I kept thinking that if they have put so much work in yoga, then how come their conscience are that weak? So weak, I didn't get it. After that, when I went home, then I recalled something. Whenever a young girl would look in the mirror to look at herself, again and again, then my grandma would scold her badly. Don't do that so often, stop looking in the mirror. I wondered that how does her looking in the mirror affect my grandma? Let her do that. Later I realized if she'd look too often in the mirror, then she would look at her body parts. She would look at that very body which is going to get destroyed one day. So she would look at that body. The more you put your conscience at the body, the more it gets destroyed. The next day, I met those 5 yoga teachers again at the yoga program. I told them that you were focusing your conscience too much on your body. Your conscience was focused at the body only, so this has destroyed your conscience. It got weakened, it requires strength. They said, yes, Swamiji, this is true. We began doing yoga just for the body. We have nothing to do with the spirituality part. I said, you wanted a good body. You got it. But what about the weak conscience? They said, yes, Swamiji, we agree to this. But what can be done now? What now? So I said, even if people call you mad, just practice looking at the sky daily for an hour. The sky is not damageable. If you keep your conscience towards the sky, then it will turn stronger only, I assure you. If your conscience is weak as well, your conscience is weak too, then just connect with the earth. Start sitting on the ground. Secondly, practice looking towards the sky. Both can certainly strengthen your conscience. Start doing it. Just keep looking at the sky continuously. Your conscience will enter thoughtlessness. All the thoughts would go away. Why? Because your conscience is at a place that is not damageable. If we focus at the damageable things, then we destroy our conscience. And if we put our focus on the non-damageable things, then our conscience gets stronger, gets tougher. We will meditate just like yesterday. We'll start meditation. Nothing to be done. Just sit straight like this. Then put your right hand on your head top like this. Press it gently. After that, rotate it clockwise 3 times. Now very slowly and steadily bring your hand down. It is human behavior. Wherever we keep our hand at, our conscience goes there only. So when we keep our hand on the head top, then our conscience also goes to the head top. After having stabilized your conscience on your head top, you have to repeat the same mantra. I am a pure soul. You have to feel it that you are a pure soul. I am a holy soul. You have to feel it that you are a holy soul. Feeling it is the most essential part. I am a pure soul. I am a holy soul. I am a pure soul. I am a holy soul. Now keep your conscience focused on that head stop and meditate. greetings. And tomorrow, we'll target sacral chakra. Sacral chakra's relation is with the thoughts. Its relation is with external obstacles, with external thoughts, with the diabetes too. Tomorrow we'll discuss that chakra. Greetings.